Hi everyone, I'm Esther from Essie Cooks, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can rehydrate your own dried mushrooms. So I have some oyster mushrooms here. I'm going to show you how to rehydrate these, but we'll talk about how you can rehydrate your other mushrooms as well. I got these beautiful oyster mushrooms from Mini Mushroom Farms. They are so delicious. Eating mushrooms, they're so packed full of nutrients and health benefits, but sometimes it's hard to keep them fresh in your fridge, or you get a big harvest, a big batch, and you want to dry them or even buy them dried for convenience. But you're probably wondering, how can I rehydrate these? So let me show you. All right, so I need about 1 cup of these dried oyster mushrooms for the recipe that I'm going to be making. And my secret little tool here is using a French press, but you don't have to. If you want, you can place the mushrooms just directly into a large bowl and just put something on top, or just keep pressing them down to make sure that they're submerged in water. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them right in this French press. Now for most of these oyster mushrooms, we're gonna wanna let them sit for about 20 minutes to rehydrate. Different mushrooms can be different. You'll know when they are soaked all the way through and you can cut through them that they have been rehydrated. So you'll just want to check on that. Some may only take about 10 minutes. Most of them sitting in warm water are going to take between 20 and 30 minutes. If it hasn't been quite long enough, you can get a feel for it and just soak them a little bit longer. You can check out our article linked below too for some more details on rehydrating your mushrooms. But it's honestly so easy to do. All right, now I've got my mushrooms in there. So I'm just gonna put warm water on top, and then this is just gonna keep the mushrooms submerged. That's why the French press is so handy for this. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see here, I have a lot of water. It's like right to here, and it's enough to cover the mushrooms. However, you can see they're floating to the top. And if you didn't have the French press, like I said, you can just simply use a spoon and you can kind of, force them to submerge in the water, and you can place something on top like a bowl or a plate just to make sure that they stay submerged in that water. But the French press is just so handy, so I am gonna go ahead and just throw the top on there. Just push it down just a little bit, and now I'm gonna leave those, check on them in 20 minutes. Okay, it has actually been about 25 minutes, so we are gonna check on these and see. They are looking good to me. They are looking rehydrated. I can smell them. They smell so good. So let's pull one out and see. Okay, let's pull one out here and just have a look. I'm just gonna pull one out with my hands. Okay, that is looking really good. You just want to see if there's any dry bits, because if there is, you may want to rehydrate a little bit longer, but you can go ahead and cook these as normal if you don't want all of the water in them because you're going to be frying them or something like that, which I am going to be doing. You can kind of just gently squeeze a little bit of the water out of them. You can do that to all of them, then you can go ahead and cook with them. But you can see we are nice and rehydrated there and ready to go. How easy was that? And the other beauty of the French press here is that we can save the water that it was soaked in, and we can use this as a sort of mushroom broth. So you just pour this right out into a jar or any container. Look at that beautiful color. I mean, this is free mushroom broth, bonus. You can mix this in with your regular vegetable broth or whatever broth you're using. It adds such a nice flavor to your various different dishes. This is so good in soups that you would add mushrooms to. This is so good in, you can use a little splash of this in a stir fry. You can use this in a mushroom risotto. Yum. So many things. You can freeze this and save it for later too. If you're like, I don't know what to do with this right now, just save it. Save it in your freezer. Just thaw it out. Keep in mind, yes, it has a beautiful mushroom flavor, but it doesn't have salt. So you can add a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of tamari. That's going to add a lot of flavor to it. Some miso, just to pick it up, or some salt, because on its own, it's not going to have the saltiness that broth usually has. So that's just my personal recommendation there. I might even have a little bit more. Oh yeah, look at that. Free mushroom broth. And speaking of soup, if you are just going to be adding these dried mushrooms into a soup, you don't even have to rehydrate them like this. Just throw them into the soup, add a little bit of extra water because they are going to be absorbing some of the water, and that's it. I've added these mushrooms into just like a really nice gyoza, Thai sort of curry, Asian noodle soup. Oh my goodness, so good. It gave almost like a chickeny texture and flavor. The mushrooms were so good in it. I didn't have to do anything. I just tossed a handful right in. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, if you have any questions about your mushrooms and rehydrating them, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I will do my best to answer all of your questions about this. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. And if you're wondering what I made with those mushrooms that I rehydrated, I'm actually making a sort of barbecue pulled pork vegan sandwich out of these mushrooms. So I shredded them all. I cooked them in a cast iron until they were nice and crispy on the outside, just like this. Look at that. It looks so meaty. And then I'm going to add all of my sauces and seasonings. So I added barbecue sauce, smoked paprika, dark soy sauce, and a little bit of garlic powder, salt and pepper, just really simple ingredients. And look at how good that is looking there. I mean, look at that texture. You can make this with fresh mushrooms as well, but I just happen to only have the dry, so I made it out of these. And I'm going to throw that on a nice bun with some vegan mayo, and I'm going to put a little bit of coleslaw on top and just top that off and enjoy that nice vegan pulled pork sort of barbecue style sandwich. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit like and subscribe.